Alrighty. Hi everybody, CANNABEARD Grows here. Man, I have been talking about doing this tent tier list for just forever. Well, here we are. Today's the day. I'm doing it right now. So, first off, a quick disclaimer. I have used pretty much every single tent on this list, with the exception of this Made in China one down here. And what this Made in China one actually is all of the random fly-by-night, low-quality companies that come and go. I actually had a different list with a couple of different tent companies on this list that I've had to remove because they're no longer for sale. The companies seem to have disappeared since they were popular at one point. So I'm just going to group together everything from, Vector, iGrow, iPower, Grow-N-Ear, Hydro Farm, Top Grow. There was another big list of a bunch of other ones. I can't think of all the names. Anyway, we're just going to bundle all of those here in the Made in China one, which actually brings me to probably our first tier drop. Let's just drop this down here in the D tier, right here, right smack down. Let's start that there. That's where that probably belongs. Now, this is the one caveat. This is the one group I haven't really tried much because I've been smart enough to avoid those tents. They're generally cheap quality, and as I said, half the companies are literally fly by night and disappear before your warranty's even up on the dang things. Next here, let's look at this list here. Next, I think, let's slap maybe the Secret Garden or Secret Garden ones. I've used a few of these. They're fairly thin. They're not that great, but they're better than, you know what? I'm going to put them in B tier for now. I'm going to probably move these and shuffle them around a little bit, but let's just slap that up into B tier because it's not terrible, but it's not very good either. Now, the reason I'm slapping it up there right away is because Mammoth grow tents definitely fall under the Secret Garden tents. These are really flimsy tents. No offense to the Mammoth folks, but they are very flimsy. They're just very thin, very cheap made, and they're kind of pricey considering their quality. Yeah, so that's where that's going to sit right there. And you know what? I think I got to put the Spider Farmer kind of up here with the Secret Garden. Now, while Spider Farmer is sort of directly copying MARSHYDRO here, they are definitely inferior quality compared to MARSHYDRO. If you put Spider Farmer side by side with any of their gear, we are only talking about tents here today, Mars is going to come out on top over Spider Farmer every time. Let's see here. Let's slap Gorilla up here in A tier as well. We'll do an S tier at the very end. I'm going to bring everything up to the A and less, and then we'll make some decisions on what ends up as an S tier. AC Infinity. I'm bringing that up to A tier. That's good stuff. Good stuff. And my first thought wants me to put this Vivo Sun down here, because it is pretty cheap-ass tent. But this is going to blow a few of your minds. I'm going to put this up here. I'll tell you why in a minute, but let's talk about the rest of this list here because we gotta move something up for sure here. We can't. Now, is Mars the best out of all of these four? No. Sorry. Let me rephrase this. Let me redo this a little bit. Quality. Let's do a couple of passes here. First thing, just quality of materials. Is Mars the best of these four? No. Is Gorilla the best of these four? Maybe. Is AC Infinity the best of these four? Maybe. Is Vivo Sun the best of these four? No. Now, is Vivo Sun better than Mars? No, it isn't. Is Gorilla Grow Tent better than AC Infinity. Now, Gorilla GROWTENT, the reason it's up here, it is thick. It is the best quality material I've ever seen. The top layer of these tents are like quilted, thick material. Very, very high quality everything that I've used from Gorilla GROWTENTs. They're very expensive. They are the most expensive of the tents I've ever used, but it is also the highest quality out of any of the tents I've ever used. Next here beside it is the AC Infinity tents. These are beautiful tents, but they are not as thick as the Gorilla GROWTENTs. They're just not as rugged. They won't last as long. They're very nicely designed, don't get me wrong. But if I had to slide only one of these down, I'm going to say this one here. I'm going to have to do it. I don't want to. I love AC Infinity, don't get me wrong, but I got to drop that down. Now, I have to bring this back up for a reason, the Vivo Sun. I want to talk about Vivo Sun here for a minute. Now, I've used a lot of Vivo Sun tents in my day. Number one reason, why do I use Vivo Sun tents? Because they're dirt cheap. They're probably, comparably, the cheapest tents on the market. Are they the best tents on the market? Hell no. But they're definitely some of the cheapest. But does their price tag outweigh their usefulness? I guess that depends on what you need your tent for. If you're growing in a cold space, like a garage or something where you need to keep and trap your temperature, I would say Gorilla Tent is a better buy. If you're looking for price, if price is your option, I'm going to say that Vivo Sun is the best of them all because it's the cheapest. But this is what I'm stating. Is price versus quality what's better here? Do I do this? Do I bump this down here and say that the Vivo Sun is the best because the price tag is so cheap and the quality is so medium? It's right in the middle. It's not good, but it's definitely not bad. I've got Vivo Sun tents I've had for years and years and years. They just last like any old tent should just last, unless it's one of these cheap Chinese ones, in which case I wouldn't give it any time. Now, I mean, technically, Spider Farmer and MARSHYDRO are almost on the same level, but I have to keep this down here like this, right? AC Infinity, does this deserve to go down? No, I can't bring this out of A tier. I just can't. It's too good of a quality. And Mars being here, can I bring Mars down? You know, I really can't. Mars is better than these two. But the only reason it sits on a shelf with these other two big boys who are champions in their own rights. MARSHYDRO is probably one of the OG oldest tent and grow gear companies around. But does that really make them the best? Debatably. I mean, their price tag meets quality, I think, has to keep them here. And the Gorilla's quality has to keep it here. The price tag is not there. These are sort of both on opposite schedules, or sides, pardon me. This one here is cheaper, but very good quality. This one here is very much more expensive, but very, very good quality. And this one right here is kind of in the middle of the two for price point and quality. It's better than Mars for quality, but it's cheaper than the Gorilla GROWTENT. So I think this is my list.
Wow.
I know having Vivo Sun at the top seems a little crazy, but again, I have to give it to them for the price point. Everybody is struggling financially. Times are tough. And if it's a toss-up between, highest quality and the cheapest tent, most people are probably going to buy the cheapest tent. I've said this many, many times before in the past. You can cheap out on many things when it comes to growing. You really can. There's a lot of things you can DIY, you can Mickey Mouse, you can borrow, whatever. But you can't cheap out on genetics or your light. Those are two things you really, really should not do. Maybe I should do a light tier one of these days as well. But for now, go ahead and let me know in the comments below if you want to see me do more tier lists like this. Tent is something that you can cheap out on. You can go and buy the cheapest tent on the market. And will you still be able, if you have the best light and the best genetics in the cheapest tent, can you still grow the best weed? Absolutely. Absolutely. The tent is the best tent versus the cheapest tent going to make a huge difference when it comes to grow quality? No, not really. It really depends on your situation. Do you need more insulation in your tents? Do you need better sealant? So for smells, to keep smells coming through filters and stuff and not leaking, not a light leak and that kind of stuff. If those things all matter, then pay for the more expensive brands. If they don't matter to you, then you can get the cheaper ones. And that's pretty much where my list is and why I'm justifying where everything is sitting. I love most of these brands. The top 3 tiers have been awesome to me. Right here, this one, Gorilla, AC Infinity, MARSHYDRO, and Vivo Sun. I've used all of those many times. I have used Vivo Spider Farmer. I still have one of my small clone tent is a secret garden tent. I have used and destroyed a mammoth tent, and I won't touch the Chinese ones. And that's my list, folks. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more and all that kind of action. And I'll see you real soon. Cheers.